properties worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome to Today's America, Millennium News 24/7, United States of America, also globally. Viewers, we have our special guest today from Sweden, Christian. He is one of the real estate mogul in European country, one of the best country in the world, Sweden. And our co-host, Todd Goldfinger. On future, he thinking, and we are thinking, he gonna be run for government office. Mr. Todd, introduce yourself, please, our viewers.
Sure, thank you. It's wonderful to be here on your show, Today's America. I myself am a mental health advocate and survivor. I was able to cure myself and heal myself through alternative methods. We have here today on the show a special guest from Sweden, and his name is Christian. Christian, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Introduce yourself.
As just said, I'm Christian and I'm from Sweden, and I'm in the age of 65, and I've been in real estate business and construction business in Sweden for many years. Grown up in Sweden, been traveling all around the world for different jobs, especially engaged in the Middle East. And nowadays I focus very much on freedom of speech, but I'm also really interested in how we work as humans being in respect of a brain and of evolution, and really what is happening to us when we get input from the outside world, and how we connect those thoughts in our personality and develop like that. And I'm also very interested in psychology and philosophy, studying a lot about that now. And also, I treated myself very well after a knee operation with own method of taking good cost and getting better throughout that. So I believe in that way of taking care of your body and not fill it up with various medicines. So I'm really a product of my own experience in that.
Very good, very good. Viewers, we're going to talk about today our politics and pandemic, also regular like a finance and business globally. 2007, we have a collapse whole real estate market worldwide. Also 1994 one time, probably is coming again. That's why we have one of the guests, our Mr. Christian from Sweden, Stockholm. Christian, tell us legal politics, your country and European nations. How is they doing for people's right, fundamental rights and speech of human rights?
Yeah, Sweden is, what I say, in a really different stage now, because Sweden was for many years famous for being a real welfare and democratic country, and I would say that has been changed very much lately. We have our elections each 4 years, and throughout 50 of those, the last 50 years, we had a social democrat government. But I would say nowadays Sweden is very much connected what happens in EU, as a European Union, and how European Union is run by parts from the globalists in America and so on. And Sweden has good development, but it's like very many countries, we have a lot of immigration, and that changes a lot. So it has affect the health and care system in Sweden. So there is really much to do, because the change of the once so really good welfare state is now connected with really uprising of taxes and so on, which affects income for people and what they get out for, also what you get for your money. So, well, that's one start.
Very good. Todd, you got our co-host. He's going to ask something to you. Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah. Sure, Christian. Great having you on the show. People don't know a lot about Sweden in America. We think about ABBA, we think about In Flames, Hammerfall, and bands like that, and we say, Sweden is a great place for music, and it seems like the education system there is really good. Is that true?
Yeah, the education system is very good. We have some good universities in Stockholm, and also on the west coast of Gothenburg, really up in the north as well as Sweden. And Sweden is it's a small country. We are today around 9 million inhabitants, and the nature is wonderful and magic, but it's for sure a real northern country. So we have our short period of summertime in May to August, and then we are fighting with snow and rain. But there is a good education status, yes it is. But all again, if you compare with universities in America and in the UK and so further on, there are other alternatives. But historically, we are in a good position of university education topics. Yeah.
One thing you talking about government policy change. Reason is immigration, people coming from whole of the world, Middle East, Afghanistan, Southeast Asia. Reason is that?
Yeah, that's correct. That is really good understood, because it's really what has happened lately, the last 5 years, and that really affected the economy of the country, and how, like I said, how to share incomes and taxes and healthcare among the Swedish people, together with what the cost of immigrants. That's the way it is.
Very good. Sweden, one of the best country in the world for the education and immigration. But why government changing their rule regulation these days? Financial issue?
Yeah, financially, because like in all other countries in the world, I mean, I don't think there is any country in the world that really don't have increased costs to take care of all this, and all they can do is to raise the taxes. and there then will be a lack in the education of the health program and the hospitals and so on to kind of cope with the changes in high costs, and that changed the position very much for Sweden. So, like I said in the beginning, what has really been changed is that the welfare is not that well as it was like 30, 40 years ago, because they always had to fight with the economy to see who gets what, how do we defend and share the cost of different various costs and taxes and so on. So it really changed from what people think of Sweden as a best, one of the good welfare states. We were, but we have problems today.
Todd, you are our co-host.
Interesting.
You know, our society in American community, American immigration system, and health and wealth system, still we are okay. But our right-wing media, right-wing people, whatever they try to do, destroy the education system, destroy the healthcare system. So what do you think is going to be happen? Do you have any idea?
Well, it needs a long answer, but what I think will happen, I mean, it is that we really have to change the position of people coming in a connection with like inhabitants born and raised up in Sweden, how to share incomes of work and finance, but also the cost of how much money we spend on like helping other countries, which is of course also always good if we can do that. But we have to reduce all these kinds of costs, because it costs too much. And if you have talk about immigration, if you have people who have problems, of course, and if they copy and get into the system or really doing something for the country and for themselves and get adapted to the system, it could gain. But nowadays there are too much people coming from outside and they don't have any work, and it costs the states a lot of money. So in that respect, I think it really has to change for the coming years, to not get so very many immigrants, not in the lack of helping people and lowering the meaning of helping people, but really to use the cost and focus on the cost to coming back to a state where we can afford all this for everybody. So it's needs a huge change. And you know, like in America and all over countries, everything is today run by printing new money, and everybody in the loans for buying real estate for people has increased heavily in Sweden. So most people don't pay with their own money, they pay with loans, and that must be reduced, because in the coming years, like those people in the age of 30 today, like they if they get a bank crash, whatever, or something, it will affect them a lot. And I myself, I like the idea of not be run by like a government, like I take in respect what the European Union is today. So I mean, in that respect, for each country to take their decisions on politics, like economy and safety and so on. That's my point of view.
I understand. We're going to be back, Christian, with you after the break. Todd, we are going to break. Viewers, we are going to short break. Please stay with us.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV. Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV. Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
We are back again. Today's America and Millennium News 24/7. Todd, our American education system, healthcare system, immigration system is collapse for our Senate and Congress and White House. Right-wing media every single day try to destroy American democracy. So our government doing nothing. So what do you think our government have to be do?
The short answer is to listen to the public. That's the short answer, is that we need to listen to the citizens, the quote consumers. We need to have information from the public. We need to hear the pulse of America. We need to know what's going on first. And they live in their own bubble. The 1%, the upper echelon, they live in their own bubble. And basically it doesn't affect the have-nots or the middle class that are now going lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, right? So like now it's, class warfare, and the upper echelon thinks they're so smart. And I can think like them too. It's no big deal. So, the point is that with the knowledge that you have, with the privilege that you have, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with the privilege? So if you do have privilege, it doesn't matter the color of your skin, whatever kind of privilege, it doesn't matter. Privilege is privilege, and if you have it, then you do have a duty, responsibility to your fellow human beings on this planet. And the sooner you realize it, the better. Thank you very much.
Christian, whatever your country, the Sweden, the fundamental right-wing media and right-wing parties, what they are doing for the public, they are like the same America or what?
Yeah, like the same in America. I can copy very much what Todd just said, because our media is totally in the hands of the mainstream media. They are actually not reporting what happens around the world in that respect. They're a little bit trying to hide everything. And like you said, Todd, you really have to go down to listen to the people, listen to the public. And so it's, for the point of view in Sweden, it's scary, because the government are only working for their power, and they are not listening to the people. You could really see this effect like in 1 month ago, roughly, was the biggest manifestation and demonstration in Stockholm that was done, that I have never been seen before. It was like between 15 to 20,000 people out in the street, and against the opinion of vaccination status and everything, depending on worldwide problems with this pandemic situation. So, and the middle class are affected of times of lockdown and so forth. So I can really copy with what Todd said. We are in the same situation in Sweden. Thankfully, alternative media and new news channels are growing very intensively the last 2 years. So there people can follow, but most people go and follow mainstream media. And like again, we are in the same position in Sweden, like Todd just told us about America.
You know, our network, we are working for lower class, middle class, and all class. Everyone can use their views. In America, mainstream media, they do not work for lower class and middle class. Middle class and lower class, they don't have any voice on mainstream media. So same thing on the Sweden too.
Yeah, it's the same thing in Sweden, because everything in the mainstream media are followed with their, what you can say, their agenda. And what is the biggest problem is that they follow other mainstream media like CNN and stuff, and BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation. And but very many people still watches mainstream media and are not aware of the alternative. And at that time, they believe in what is said there. And that's what I said in the beginning. I'm so fascinated about this kind of mass psychosis that is walking around in many countries around people. So people are not aware. They follow and they believe that the authorities are good, and they were good like 30, 40 years ago. They don't think so very much themselves. They don't ask themselves questions. So yeah, it's the same here.
Todd, this is your hand. You can ask whatever you want, Mr. Christian.
Mass psychosis, absolutely. It's absolutely mass psychosis. And the quicker that we realize that it is mass psychosis, the quicker we can remedy the situation with new news outfits to benefit the public and humanity, just like this one, Millennium News TV.
Christian.
Anyway,
Christian, the world is financial hub right now. Everyone, money, money, money. They do not care for their own people, own family, for this pandemic. How is the pandemic issue in your country, and how is financial sector doing these days?
Well, the financial sector today is infected by what I said in the beginning of the introduction of this printing money situations of loans, and we have an inflation. And as I understand it from my connections, there are all the banks are run by the same system like from European Union. So I believe there is of course, they have it controlled. I wouldn't say that. But this problem is that young people, like in the age of 30 and 40 and stuff, they are loaning the money. Of course, they have the income from different professions they have. But I see problems in the coming years because people really got loans over their ears, and hopefully the younger generation will be able to pay it in the future. But it's going to be hard times. So everybody does not agree with me. Actually, I'm a very positive person, but it's really at this time of according to my experience, I see a real change in the economy the coming 2 years. I hope I'm wrong, but everything is too much linked and connected with United States and European Union, and Sweden has always been a country like following what happens in the USA and coping that in to how the company Sweden is run, and so we are very, very much affected by the US, for sure.
Very good.
I have a question for Christian.
Yeah.
Let's say, mass immigration to Germany, did that affect Sweden?
Sweden it affects Sweden because Sweden has a very high amount of immigration. So that, according to the question, it really affected Sweden. Yes.
Okay, so when Germany brought in, I believe, what was it, 1 million refugees from various countries and things like this, also not checking everybody too, so there may have been some people with mental health issues as well, but we don't know that because they just let them in. And so what you're saying is that actually caused some issues for Sweden, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, because beginning from 2015 and onwards, it is a little bit less now, but it's still, Sweden has very, very high part of immigration. So again, as an answer to your question, it really affected Sweden. We have a huge amount of immigration that also affect the finance and the healthcare system and everything. Yeah.
So it really hasn't recovered since, is that true?
Sorry?
It hasn't recovered since.
No. Yeah, I mean, it has been the same. It was partly uncontrolled, as in many other European countries, and now it's, of course, in the opposition parties, whatever it is. I mean, but the people are starting to realize this, but it was a really uncontrolled system, yeah.
Todd and Christian,
Yes.
please stay with us. We are going to short break. Viewers, we're going to be back soon.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Viewers, we are back again. Today's America, Millennium News 24/7. We have a guest, special guest from Stockholm, Sweden, Mr. Christian. Christian, the whatever happening Eastern Europe right now, like Russia and Ukraine, is going to be affect, if Russia attack Ukraine, is going to be affect Sweden?
Well, that's a tough question, of course, widely discussed in the whole world now. I mean, it's like, again, Sweden is a very, very small country, and I really doubt, very carefully, of course, to say I can be wrong, because you never know what happens. But I don't see why this how it could affect Sweden. But Swedish politics have a special. It's like a topic that's very much discussed in Sweden, like in the whole world. But it's a hard question due to Sweden is not a part of NATO. The politicians want Sweden shall we join NATO or not. So of course it's pretty close if you compare it with other countries. But in the first one, if it should happen, I can't see how much it would affect Sweden, even more by the politicians and how they will handle this situation. But again, it's a too big question to give one shot answer.
I understood.
Yeah.
That's okay. How far from Russia? You guys have any border with Russia, or you are
No,
close?
we don't have a border with Russia. We have from Stockholm and crossing the East Sea. Our closest neighbors are Estonia, Lithuania, and Lettland.
Oh, I see. But yeah, Sweden is not NATO's country.
No.
Oh, I see. So, Swedish people and Swedish government, they support European Union or they support Russia? Majority people.
They support European Union, for sure.
Very good. So, they are talking about, they are thinking about the democratic way, democracy. They don't want a communist. May I right?
Yeah, exactly. You're right. That's talk about the democracy of Ukraine that would change in if something would happen. So that's correctly understood. Yeah.
But Russian president and Russian parliament, they are passed already bill. They can take over part of Ukraine. You know, Russian parliament passed yesterday, Duma. But you know, we do not know the geopolitics Eastern Europe. But
No, we don't know. It's a 10,000 question. I mean, it's a question without no. I think that nobody can give a total correct answer. We don't know. We just have to pray and hope.
very good.
Yeah.
Todd, you're gonna ask something. Go ahead.
Sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Sweden has always been neutral. Is that the correct way to put it? Neutral?
Yeah, that's the correct way to put it. Sweden together with Switzerland.
Switzerland as well, okay. Now, I just have a question for you. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but what was Sweden's role during the Holocaust, and were they still neutral then? Okay, thank you.
Sweden was still neutral, and but the passage of different kinds of materials were allowed through Sweden up to Norway, because Sweden was, like you said, neutral in that time of the Second World War. So Sweden was not connected in that respect, but we allowed transports from the Germans through the country. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't exactly that neutral.
It's also historical questions that really have to be deep down digged. It's a question which has been raised, but you really have to observe and deep down dig in the books to give a short answer about that.
Sure. Thank you.
How is doing the Sweden people mind? American president yesterday warning on the televised whole of the world. He's saying if Russia attack, all NATO's and European Union is going to be attack Russia. Do you think and Swedish people going to be support?
Sorry, Swedish people going to be...
No, American president declare if Russia attack Ukraine, NATO's country and America going to be attack Russia. So it's going to be third world war. Do you think it's going to be happen?
Hope not.
I hope not. I mean,
Hope not. Hope
it's
not.
also the question of like being like I feel being globally discussed the last years. I mean, from mainstream media, whatever you think and whatever you feel about what Donald Trump did, he was like very much put in a bad position in media. But I would say that Swedish people are not incumbent.
He put himself in a bad position in the media, sir.
Sorry?
That guy that you're speaking of, the Trumperino, put himself in a bad position. He made his bed, and now he's sleeping in it. So I think that's pretty cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Todd, this answer for you.
Mar-a-Lago. Have a good time in Mar-a-Lago. You know.
Listen, Todd, this question for you.
Sure.
Our ex-president, whatever he did for American people and worldwide, something good, something shameless, totally.
Shameless.
And he make American, some media, totally corrupt and right-wing, like a Fox and other one, American one, Newsmax.
They already were right-wing before he came into the picture. They already were
No,
looking for somebody like him.
My question is not finished. So right now, New York State Attorney General getting so much corrupt information. Do you think he gonna be jail time or what? He was a president of United States of America. Think about it.
Yeah. Right.
Go ahead.
He gets a pass. He gets a pass because he's got so many friends and cronies, and he's really, his oil is just kind of, his skin is just emits a kind of disgusting kind of thing. He's a very toxic person. You can tell the toxicity from eating all the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Sorry, didn't mean to mention that, but you know what I mean.
I see.
Sorry, I love fried chicken. Nothing against fried chicken, but you know, he makes him a sick person, and you can see how sick he is just by looking at him. You know, I mean, the hair is terrible, but the skin is really, really bad. Just look at the skin. He's got like almost rosacea. It's very poor. Sorry, it's a poor man. I feel sorry for him.
That's okay.
I feel sad. It makes me sad. You know, that he has to go his whole life looking so bad, so awful, so terrible, and to emit such toxins, to be such a toxic person. I feel sorry for him. I pray.
You know, lot of listen.
Trumpy bear.
Listen.
Sorry, Trumpy bear. I'm sorry. He was an icon to me at one point, you know. But then he had to be a trashy guy up there on the big stage.
Listen.
You know, trashy
Listen.
guy. Trashy.
Sorry,
trashy guy. Sorry.
Todd.
I'm listening now. Yeah.
Todd.
Yeah.
He was our president. We have to respect our presidency and White House. We can criticize him, but we cannot.
When he gets to the place, there's cheaters left all over, cheater wrappers. You know, he left it. He made it a junky place. You don't do that. You don't devalue the place. You have to bring the value. Listen,
we
right?
cannot. Listen. Don't get loud, please. This is national media. Don't cursing. Don't loud. Okay.
No cursing.
This is American president.
Sorry, Mar-a-Lago. Have a good time down there. Very toxic.
Christian, American politics and right-wing media, they are destroying our so-called democracy worldwide, not only America. You know, they are talking about not human rights, not for environment, not for climate. They are just talking 24 hours, whatever Trump did and whatever Trump gonna do. So the Swedish people and Swedish politicians, they talk about these things.
No, but yeah, I could reflect, I could come back again to what Todd said. They really have to listen to the people, to what people needs, people demands, and they are not doing that today. And in media, like again, it's mainstream media just falls a line. But I think the problem is that people believe so much in it, they really don't ask. Is there another position? Is there another possibility of something? So I can't say it any better than Todd did. We really have to listen to the people, listen to the people's demands, what they wish, and really talking about working for the people. If you should run a government, in my respect, you should work for the people, and that's the problem today, also here. But again, most people are very polite. They think about their coming vacation and they think about what they're going to do with kids and school, so they don't answer so many questions. But of course, people are now waking up, because undependable for what you think have been passed in the 2 years. I mean, now Sweden is totally open, and I pray every day that it will be like that. So people are kind of waking up. But, well, it's so much good said. We have to work for the people. The government is elected to work for the people, not to work for themselves.
Very
Well
very wonderful question. Todd, you want to ask anything to him?
I love you, man. Thank you for being on the show. This is fantastic. Thank you.
We are not finishing. Mr. Christian, the European politics and European countries, the media and peoples, they are supporting right-wing extremist. They have any right-wing party or whole global, so many countries they have a right-wing party and they are destroying the world.
Yeah. I mean, according to your question, I know, and I know, and what I think is that the global world and the global world run for, especially like World Economic Forum, is the one they are in charge of an idea in that respect. I feel talking about left and right for me is, I mean, I came to the age of 65, so I do have a lot of experience. I was raised up in the time when my parents were astonished and they actually didn't care what was happening in the Vietnam War and blah blah blah. Now for me, it's not a question of left and right. It's a question about, again, listening to the people, working for the democracy, be, if you can, helpful for people who really want to help, coming from outside countries, support them, and then get adapted to the system and the sovereignty of each country. I mean, everybody talks too much about left and right today, and I don't like that way, because in my respect, we have to go back again to the people, public voice, and also enter a new part of spirituality and respect with Mother Earth and the evolution.
Very good.
And that's why I'm very much to the topic about not brain research, because I'm not a researcher in that respect.
Okay.
I try to understand as much as I can. So that's my point.
We're going to go short break again. My friends, please stay with us. We're going to be back soon.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome back again to Today's America and Millennium News 24/7. This question for Mr. Todd. Our America, before the pandemic, thousands of people died opioid and mental health, suicide. When is pandemic coming? Our government is not counting anything. Every single day by pandemic, over 2,000 people died. So our healthcare system is collapsed. They do not taking care of the mental health issue. So do you have any idea how people can get out from this?
Yeah, we're going to talk to some experts on this show. We're going to have him on this show. A cannabis doctor, is going to tell us about how to not take opioids, or at least that there are other modalities, other ways than just doing opioids and having what the pharmaceutical companies are basically forcing down everyone's throats, proverbially. And I would say that these different modalities we have to be open to, and I say closed minds don't get fed. And yes, it's also closed mouths don't get fed, but closed minds don't get fed. And for us to evolve as a human race, as a planet, not just as a nation, it's very important too, but to have an open mind to new and different modalities. The old ways are not serving us anymore. I think that is a hashtag right now. So, now that we're in 2022, it's February, and where are we? We don't have a flying car. We have a vehicle that's a fossil fuel guzzling thing that's polluting the environment. And here we are in 2022, and the dream, what happened to the dream, Martin Luther King? What happened? So, there's a lot of things that didn't happen. And the war on drugs, well, hopefully that's going to be over, Mr. Nixon. So thank you very much. And privacy wars, yeah, thanks a lot for that. Thanks.
Same question is coming, our brother Christian. How is people doing mental health issue, your country, also Sweden, also around the European countries? Do you have any idea?
Well, I want to come back to again where I started, and I just chatted in a minute here. I mean, I think we have to go back to another kind of stage in this time of this pandemic story. You see so very much of people are adapting. They are not asking questions. They're not thinking by themselves. I think people really have to go back. We are going back to the dialogue. I love the dialogue idea from one of the great philosophers, Mr. Nietzsche, who was talking about the dialogue and the way to speak. It was also driven by another philosopher which he was called Wittgenstein. And we have to understand our brains. We have to understand what we are. And so my answer is that we have to go back to the fundamental base. I mean, not living without no food and our modern society, but people have to get more aware of what is people, what is evolution, how are we constructed, how do we think. I learned once from a man, he said, you're not responsible for your first thought, but you're responsible for the second one, which means that you really have to think, we are so, I always say, we are all miracles. I mean, we are all two miracles. And in those days of the pandemic situation, I've been studying at my level, medicine, molecular biology, and understanding what cells and bodies is. I think, so not to make it too long, answer to the question, we must find a new way, not only in Sweden, to understand what we are as human beings. Everything is run by money today. And so we have, it's a mindset. And starting up the dialogue again, yeah.
That's true. We're gonna coming to the real estate business with you. You are doing business long time, real estate world. How is doing European countries? And do you remember 2007 real estate collapse whole of the world? What do you think on future for real estate?
Well, like you said also in the startup, everything is printed money, everything is loans. And I'm really surprised because when I were like back in Sweden in 1989, we had a breakdown and a collapse, and it was in the times of 1993 we had we had like 500%. It was a shocking system, and everything really collapsed, and we are back in the same state again. So, loan. Swedish governments are loaning. The loans of the Swedish government are so high. So, answer to the question is that we must look for a balance and not using printed money. But of course, that Sweden can't do it alone. I mean, the whole world has to do it. The whole world has to change. I know in Germany I have German roots, and I mean the motor of West Germany, one of the biggest European markets in Europe. I mean, they have problems with their economy as well, and so yeah. We also have to be aware of starting from the beginning. How is the situation with energy? The energy problem. How is it done? How does it work? We have to start from the beginning and not let everything just run like uncontrolled. So yeah, that's my input in that question.
Very good. We're gonna coming right now environment and climate. World, this planet is messed by our fundamental issue. As a human being, we are not doing anything for planet, climate and environment. We know Swedish people, they are working for the climate. One of the young lady from your country, Miss Tumba, you know that she is making world like a wake up call. But our leaders, they are just talking point, not doing anything. So do you have any idea for environment and climate, present time and future?
You're asking me, huh?
Yes.
Well, from respect of my own part of view, like I said, I believe in the power of Mother Earth. And power of Mother Earth is run by evolution, and carbon oxide is the main support for that we can live as human beings. And the problem is we have to control and we have to concentrate on fresh air and fresh water. And I know from a lot of stuff like happening in Sweden and elsewhere abroad in many years, you had in India the Union Carbide system. like affecting chemicals out in rivers, affecting fish and the evolution and the system. So I believe we must concentrate there again on doing what is a real environment problem. And today, sadly, the whole world is focusing on carbon oxide. Carbon oxide is not the problem, but of course we have to think and in getting back to basic, and again, clear water, clear air. But everybody's not running. We are leaving problems like chemical problems coming out of the water. That's what we do today. We have to get back in a new way thinking. Well, how does it look? Power of Mother Nature. I mean, they've got this kind of palm oil importing from the rainforest outside there. I mean, they are cutting down trees and they are using huge areas to install wind power and stuff like that. It's not the way it works. We have to take care of the Mother Earth with clean water and clean air, and that is not done today. I think that's a problem.
Todd, our
Yes.
time almost end. Do you have a last word? You want to say anything for mental health issue?
For everything all across the board, get back to nature. Whatever that means to you, get back to nature. What it means to you, get back to nature. Get back to nature. Within yourself, get back to nature.
I agree.
Mr. Christian, brother, do you have any last word for our viewers? Also, worldwide, whatever we are doing.
I would say use your voice, ask yourself questions, don't accept everything. You can always do something by yourself, talk to people, don't be afraid to say your opinion, and start up where you find that you are connected in the dialogue. If you're afraid to talk with somebody, start up from where you agree with somebody. But we have, again, start up the dialogue, don't be afraid, any issue, whatever it is, talk about your standpoint and spread the idea of love, evolution, and spirituality. Don't be afraid to take contact and discuss with everybody. What is different from us from animals? We can speak. Use your voice in a right position. Don't look people from saying you are like that, you're like that. And last words, don't compare yourself how anybody else was yesterday. Compare yourself who you are today, or who you were yesterday, I mean.
Thank you very much. Viewers, we are talking about the world politics, health, environment, climate, also mental health. Please watch Millennium News 24/7 and Today's America. And we are in all iOS and Android device, also all smart TVs like Sony, LG, Samsung, also Amazon Fire Stick, Roku TV, Amazon TV, Apple TV. Also we are worldwide is Jadu TV, also jagobd.com, and Radiant IPTV. Our social network address Millennium News 24/7. Our YouTube channel address News Channel M24. Our website address www.millenniumnews24.com. Also www.millenniumtv24.com. Our email address info@millenniumnews24.com. Viewers, our colleague, friends, worker, they are working round the clock overseas, local, and inside of the studio, in-house. We are grateful and thanks for that, our friends and colleague. Viewer, whatever you are, stay, peace, love, and happiness. Goodbye for today and take care. Bye.